Hello everyone, it's Eman and Liz again here, and today we are going to be talking about our biggest pet peeves. So, I'm so excited for this one.
Yeah, I feel like when I meet people, I like to I like to see the best in people generally, so I feel like it kind of goes over my head. If somebody's ever hating on me, I feel like I usually just don't realize it. Because people, like in person, those people, because everybody's braver online than they are in person, right?
Brave is different than like outright treating somebody terribly simply because you think you're better than them.
I'm very picky with the people I have in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't meet a lot of people. Like, I have a very, very, very small circle of friends. I have, like you? I have, like, a couple of more, like, people in my life, but I'm very quite particular about the people that are in my life. And I feel like I'm very, I wouldn't say, like, I'm that good of a character reader, like, I'm that amazing at, like, reading people, because I don't want to brag about it, because I don't know if it's true, maybe I'm wrong. I just feel like the times that I've kind of sensed something immediately, like it's usually within like a first like hour of knowing somebody, I'm already like, yeah, I don't know if I like this person. It's not even like I usually don't get like a crazy like whatever, but it's usually a gut feeling, because usually like they're super nice. I feel like the more friendly you are to me off the bat, the more of a red flag that goes off in my head.
I agree with you. It's actually kind of weird, because like when you feel that, like, I don't know, I know what you're talking about, and it feels weird.
Because, like, there's people, I feel like that we both met where they're friendly, and some people are friendly, like, you can be friendly and you can be chill friendly.
Of course.
And then there's friendly where it's like, be my friend. It's like, at that point it's a little scary, and at that point it's kind of like, Cause you know how like girls are very like, hey, like, oh, you're so pretty, oh my god, let's hang out, let's do this, oh, here's what's your phone number, oh my god, where do you live, oh my god, what's your social security number, oh my god, what's your credit card number?
It's like, well, okay, well, also think of it this way, because for me anyway, especially when it comes to, you know, making friends with other females, it wouldn't even just be asking me too many questions or wanting to get to know me too much or wanting to do too much right away. It's more so just like, you can hear it in their tone. Like, it's simply just like the way that they talk to you. It's a toned thing for me. It's like the way that they speak and how their voice shifts in different tones.
Yeah, it's a combination.
You can catch it, and it's very off-putting, because I'm like there's, I don't know, there's something weird here, you know. Like, you should be at least able to have a simple conversation with somebody without feeling, because you can feel it and you can see it. And a lot of people think that, you know, it's something that you can't really see right away, but
you can see
it, like, which is another pet peeve, by the way.
9 times out of 10 you can see it.
Of course.
I feel like
it's when the manipulators think that nobody else knows that, you know, they're manipulating you but them, but in reality it's like an Uno reverse. Everybody can see that this person's a manipulator, but it's just, I don't know, it's
you know what,
crazy mind game.
I believe that, like, our eyes are the windows to the soul. I genuinely believe that. And I like to pride myself in having pretty good eye contact, which is, and I try not to, like, stare too much sometimes, because I feel like I make some people uncomfortable. No, but, like, I give you my full attention when you're talking to me.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
But when you talk, when I talk to you, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you don't know me that well, and you're speaking to me, you don't want me to be like half paying attention to you, right? Like, you want me to speak to you properly. Yeah. So I feel like, you know, you look people in the eye when you're talking to them, but the only problem with that is a lot of times if somebody has like a rotten side to them, it's quite easy to see that, because you can really see it in the eyes. Maybe it's just me.
No, I know exactly what you mean. That's why it's annoying, because, you know, especially when, you know, it's not like you go out of your way to find this stuff. No. It's not like you're looking for problems.
No.
But sometimes it's just there. You can't really ignore
Ghostbusters,
it.
but for fake people.
Oh my god. That's so funny.
How do you feel about people who are smartasses?
Smartasses? Like what, know-it-alls?
Yeah, people who act like they know.
Honestly, for me personally, like I always want you to go out of your way and learn as much as you can. You know, it's one of the qualities I actually love about you is the fact that like your mind is so open to information, but never, ever in the years that we've been friends together, have you ever come across as like a know-it-all. You don't go out of your way to project that knowledge onto me as a way to like make yourself look smarter. You see what I mean?
Okay.
And even though you and I both go out of our way to get our own information, whenever we bring anything up or whenever we talk about certain things, you know, and even if you know it already, it's like you're not that type of person to be like, oh yeah, I already know it. Like you don't like dismiss it. You're not that person that's just like, oh, I know this, I know that, I know this. You don't close your mind. So honestly, I see know-it-alls, like when someone's being a know-it-all, especially in front of a big group of people. Like I don't really care too much if it's like just me and you. It starts to become more suspicious when it's like me, you, and a group of people. It's like you're purposefully trying to mask something. Like when you see a know-it-all just in front of a group of people and you can feel it, it's very hard to respect it because you know that they're hiding something, you know? Being a know-it-all, it's very loud. It's very in-your-face, obnoxious. So it's not exactly something I respect, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Do you even care for know-it-alls? Because I feel like with you sometimes, like, you'll be in a room, sometimes somebody will be annoying and you'll be like, you're annoying. Like, you won't say it, but like you'll have your moment where you're like, you know, just stop talking. And then you'll just forget about it.
Oh yeah, there's that one moment.
I remember that moment.
Yeah, that was
Very well.
that was funny, yeah. Well, I feel like I'm not gonna make a scene about it.
No, absolutely not. But does it become something that's like, does it develop into a pet peeve? Or like an ick?
Annoying people are annoying, that's just what I feel like I just,
Sure.
like, okay, this is more so my kind of opinion on it, okay?
Yeah.
You're not gonna go to a restaurant acting like it's a nightclub, right? So I'm just saying, like, that's,
Time and place.
I guess obnoxious people are more so what I'm annoyed at. Know-it-alls, I feel like at the very least they know stuff. Generally speaking, like they have at least something that they're interested in. I've yet to come across people who don't know anything and they just say stuff just to say stuff because then usually,
You know, that's even more annoying. That's even more annoying.
But usually those conversations
when, like,
don't last. Like usually you just get up and you walk away at that point. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
Why would you stick around? You don't. So
But
you just leave.
but I'm curious, how do you feel when that's somebody close to you? Like, what if it's like family or like significant other or sibling or something? You know what I mean?
So someone
like,
you can't get rid of.
yeah,
Like
let's just
family
say,
you
for
can't
example,
get rid
it's
of.
someone you can't get rid of. Well, I mean, I guess it answers for itself. You can't get rid of them anyway, so you just deal with it. But
Well,
I mean,
but you
people
just
change.
limit the amount. Again, I'm not suggesting you limit the time you spend with your family, but I'm just saying, like, you limit. Listen, there's only so much that you can do in situations that annoy you. The best thing to do is to try your best to control, because you can only control your own tongue. You can't control anyone else's, right?
Of course.
So I'm just saying.
You either, honestly, I think it really boils down to two options. You either sit there, you shut up and you deal with it, or you leave.
Yeah.
Or option three, you do something about it. But I mean,
no, it's not an option.
I mean, you could do something about it.
But it never leads anywhere good if you do something. What do you do?
Well, it
about
depends because you know there's, like, I don't know.
In a situation when it's okay, listen. In a situation where it's as a friend, right, or a person that you know, whatever.
Like
right?
if it's a friend, you could probably like advise them a little.
If it's a friend
You
and
know?
they are.
Not in public though, like you do
Yeah,
that in
obviously.
private.
No. But if
Imagine.
but if it's a friend going off, you know,
Yeah.
and they're being very obnoxious with their knowledge or supposed knowledge, and they're making themselves look bad, then simply out of concern for them, when you have a chance to be
Yeah.
alone with them in private, then you can advise them. And if they're really like a good friend of yours, and if they're a proper friend, then they'll take it with pride, or with grace, you know. But if they're a shitty friend, then they're gonna hate you for it. But then,
At that point, it's like to each their own.
yeah.
Do you?
But in the case if it's family,
Yeah.
or if it's you know, like something like that, then in that case, like you can't really, like at that point, and again,
I think you can still talk to them. You
you
know,
can
like
definitely
I mean,
talk about it, but
it's just I feel
my
like with
point is-
family, it's harder to really make that. Like it's really hard for. Well, I guess it really depends on the relationship with your family.
Well, it depends on
because I mean-
family too, so I
Not
can't
that
really
too.
generalize.
Okay, never mind. Moving on. My
Anyways.
anyways. No, I think another like pet peeve of mine is like the victim mindset. I really, really, really cannot stand people who say, like, who basically blame the universe being against them, or they always have to victimize themselves in every situation, either for pity or to make themselves feel better, whatever the case may be. It's stressful, like playing the victim like constantly. Does that not get like sad? But I don't actually think that's the case. I genuinely think that there's like a different part of it where it's like you genuinely think you're the victim, or you purposefully victimize yourself as a manipulation tactic. Either or. Both of them piss me off.
Yes.
Well, because think of it this way, you know, if you have the victim mindset, you're not really going to get anywhere. Because you're never taking accountability. You're not going to grow. You're not going to fix anything. You're basically just sitting there saying, you know what, this is happening to me. It's not me that's making anything happen.
I don't think people with a victim mindset realize, like a large majority of them, I don't think they realize that that's what they have.
I like to think it's a little mix of both.
And again, we have
As
completely different experiences. with
We
people.
do. We really do.
Imagine this, like I walk into a room, right? And then like there's like people, and I'm an introvert already, so that's a big thing, you know, in and of itself.
Yeah,
But
an extrovert.
yeah, so that there's that difference. But like I walk into a room and let's say you run up to me and you go, oh my God, let me introduce you to 20 of these people, and immediately, 99% of the time, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Not because they're bad, not because maybe I'm wrong. I simply don't get the energy from them that I want to see in my life.
Which
And
is
hence-
perfectly fine.
And hence I'm cordial, or
Yeah.
cordial,
Cordial.
cordial.
No, I know what you mean.
I'm good with them, I'm chill with them, I'm not gonna be rude because I have no reason to, right? And
No,
I'll-
you're civil, basically.
Yeah, and you know, hi, how are you? I'm Liz, so and so, cool, nice to
Yeah.
meet you. Peace out. You know what I mean? I don't need to get to know you. I don't need to get to know a large majority of people.
But do you
I can
think
have
you
a lot of
really-
acquaintances. I don't need a lot of friends.
Yeah, but do you think you really need to like get to know them to see this? Because for me, like, with my experiences mostly,
Yeah.
like because I network a lot. I meet people all the time. You know, we strike up conversation and whatnot, but then sometimes you just notice these little things, you know, and you know, obviously, you know, I don't know you, it could be anything, you know, but let's just say, for example, you know, you meet somebody and, you know, let's just say it turns into a friendship, then you start seeing other things, you know, so I think these,
No.
icks in the sense, I don't know what to tell you. I honestly, like sometimes I think, you know, if my life were a reality TV show, it'd actually be
I just
a hit.
feel like, you know, in the beginning of this, I said that I like to see the best in people. I think that's actually you. I think you see the best in people, and you kind of completely, like, it goes over your head if there's a bunch of like anything else. You know what I mean? I
See,
feel like
the thing is, like, I've thought about that so many times for myself because I'm like, well, how do I find myself in these situations where
How do
this
you find yourself in these situations?
where this person, you know, seems so genuine at first and then later on wasn't so genuine. I tend to think to myself like, well, how did this even happen to begin with? Like, what did I miss? But over time, what I've actually started to learn is that it's not even just about you or what you perceive, because sometimes we are just wrong.
No, definitely.
You know, so
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
honestly, it could be so many different things, but I also take to myself that for me they're really big learning moments. I never believe anything happens on accident. So for me anyway, I'm always grateful for my experiences despite how they were, mostly because it always makes me a better person nonetheless.
Mhm.
And it makes me understand humans and the way that we think in a very interesting way.
Mhm.
So I'm very grateful for it no matter how much pain it's caused me, because at the end of the day, it's opened my mind to different ways of thinking and different ways of understanding how human behavior is.
Mhm.
Because like you can say that someone's acting the way that they're acting because of their past trauma or because of how they grew up, or whatever the case may be, but
But you know,
sometimes
I feel like
you just never know,
Yeah,
and
but
you just gotta
yeah.
force yourself, like it's a way of like kind of testing your patience and testing how you respond, because sometimes we're just hit with these random things,
No,
we have no
right.
idea how to deal with it, and we learn how to deal with it in that process, so honestly it's all just learning opportunities for me. So you would think with the amount of experience that you get from dealing with these type of people that maybe you'll get better at detecting it later on.
Mhm.
And I believe that's true as well. However, it shows up very differently.
Yeah.
Like you can see narcissism show up in like 10 different ways.
Yeah.
And you might be good at detecting maybe a few of them, but
Mhm.
not all of them. So I think, the more, even though we're talking about like pet peeves and icks and whatnot, I think eventually it just, like bottom line, it's all learning. It's all learning opportunities,
Mhm.
and God's testing us. He's testing our patience heavily.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're just, we're here to do our best. We're here to improve ourselves. We're here to honestly just help each other however we can, and honestly, like, even if that means coming across, the odd trigger.
Mhm.
Eventually, you know what I mean, it just learning how to deal with it and whatnot, I think it truly reflects you on your character, and eventually,
Yeah.
makes you a better person overall, I think.
Mhm.
Well, yeah.
I agree.
Okay, perfect. Well, I mean, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back soon with more.